Stacking wins, I'm never done. On the field, I'm number one. Pressure heavy, weigh a ton.
Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It's Saturday night and we've got some huge news coming up today. Yes, it's Saturday night and you thought it's going to be a quiet one. You thought it's the night before the Leeds clash. It's an early morning kickoff, 12:30. But we have started getting some really strange rumours tonight. Really strange rumours about Ruben Amorim and his presser. What is going on? I'm not quite sure. Everyone's waiting for the embargoed press conference from Ruben Amorim, and there's rumours flying around that there's something not right at Man United. There's chaos. Now, I did an earlier stream this afternoon, and I was talking about how there is some reports, some news flying around that the board are out to stab Ruben Amorim in the back. That is what I'm hearing. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Look, 10:15, Niche. Yes, welcome to the show, mate. Like always, Niche, you're on point, my friend. 10:15 is the embargoed press conference for Ruben Amorim. And we've started getting rumours about something behind the scenes that's not right. And this is just not one from one source. There's a number of sources now starting to report that something's not right at Man United. Of course, this follows the news that broke earlier today about how Jason Wilcox and a few others at the United board are not happy with Ruben Amorim and his tactics and the way he's playing football at Man United. Now, whatever you think of Ruben Amorim, whether you're in or out, we all know he's been left out to dry, and it's because of what he said yesterday in his press conference. Now, look, I'm going to calm down a little bit. I'm going to actually give you my take on what I think is going to happen. I don't feel like Ruben Amorim is going to get the sack tonight. Okay, so I know, Niche, you're out there saying, Niche, massive news dropping. I think Ruben Amorim's going to get the sack. Carrick and Fletcher, caretakers, Maresca in maybe in the summer. I'm not going to run away with the idea that he's going to get the sack. I can't see that happening. I think if they were going to sack him, they probably would have sacked him immediately after the Wolves game. I mean, they could have had a decent excuse. Could have said, look, he's not done well enough, blah, 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 he's out, whatever, yeah? But they haven't. They haven't done that. And you can see from Ruben Amorim's demeanour in the first part of the press conference, he kind of says it like it is. He says, well, we're not making any signings. Asked point blank the question. He didn't even kind of give the usual answer that all managers give, which is, well, there's the transfer window, it opens, and if then opportunity arises, we will act. That's the normal, protocol answer that every manager gives when they're asked the question, are you going to make any signings in this transfer window? And it's normally yes. Well, it's not yes. It's just simply if an opportunity arises, we'll be on it. And if not, we're happy with the current squad. But he doesn't say that. He just simply says no. And then he's asked the same question. He's asked the question of anyone leaving, and he says no, not that. No, has anyone been at your door? No, I don't expect anyone to leave, and I don't expect anything to come in. But the way he says it with his blank face, you can tell something's not right. Something is not right. Something's going on, and yeah, it just does not make any sense. The presser told me everything I needed to know, and says Niche. Let me bring this up on screen because Niche is spitting some facts right now. The presser told me everything I need to know. He checked out. He could have resigned. I bet he's resigned. Good for him. News is considered to be very spicy. Well, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that whatever's going to happen, it's going to be pretty spicy. But again, I can't go as far as saying he's going to get the sack or he's walking away, because if that was the case, we would have by now got these rumours. We would have got, but no one is reporting on Ruben Amorim walking out or him getting the sack. What we have had the reports of is that there's been a falling out between the board, or some of the members on the board, and Ruben Amorim. Key members on the board: Jason Wilcox, key member. We're not quite sure where Omar Brada stands, but again, this could be something. What is it? What else could it be, says Nish? Well, I think it could be the beginning of the end. So when I mean by what it could be mean, it could be this could be the beginning of the end, where we start to see the cracks, where we start to see the disruption caused by this conflict between the people behind Man United. So it's the board and Ruben Amorim, and that is always the first thing to give. That's the first thing that you see it kind of blow open, and it always causes a ripple effect, and everyone else around gets affected. So yeah, I can see United having an issue with Ruben Amorim. I think what he might have done is he might have gone volatile. He might have gone all guns blazing, saying, right, I don't give a crap, they're not backing me, and he's gonna burst out and tell the entire world that the board at Man United and the owners are not backing me. And if that is the case, he's hostile, and they need to get on top of it. The owners, the Ineos, Glazers, the board, they need to get on top of Ruben Amorim. And I think that's what's happening. From what I'm hearing, I've heard from two sources who have said to me, look, it's not him getting the sack, so don't get excited. So I was like, right, okay, I'm not getting excited. I don't, to be honest with you, I do not want to see him sacked. I want to see if I had a decision to be make, if I have the choice between what happens tonight at United, I would really, really want United to say, right, we're gonna be going out in the January transfer window and signing some serious players. What I don't want is Ruben Amorim to be used as a scapegoat, and Ineos saying, oh, well, we spent all of January looking for a new manager, so we couldn't bring in any new players, and that being the answer to not going out in January and signing anybody. I said to you, I've been saying to you for some time that January is going to be crucial. We're going to see whether the owners actually back Ruben Amorim or whether they've just been playing him along, they've been dragging him, and they don't have any faith in Ruben Amorim and his tactics. Now, it's all well and good fans having their opinion. Some fans saying, they love Ruben Amorim. I'm 50-50. I like Ruben Amorim, but I also know he's not actually cooking with this team. He's not getting the best out of the players. We all have to accept that. Whether the players are good enough or not is a whole new debate, another debate. We all know there's some usual suspects in there. And I keep saying it, that, look, there's some other players who we know at United who just do not pull their fingers out, and always are the usual suspects as soon as things start going wrong for the manager. And look, again, did they need a manager to pump them up for the Wolves game? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do they need a manager to pump them up now for tomorrow's game against Leeds? They shouldn't have to need. They shouldn't need a manager to tell them how important the next game is. It's important because we can climb up the table and get into them Champions League spots. Again, we've got an opportunity with the results today going kind of in our favour. I'd say that we still got a chance again to go and get the 3 points. But is it going to be hard? Absolutely. Tomorrow's going to be really, really difficult. Really difficult because we've got a Leeds team that are absolutely flying right now. Really, really flying. I just don't know what else it could be, says Nish. It has to be that he's gone. Maybe something to do with Menu. Maybe there is something to do with Menu. Maybe there's something to do with a player where he spills the beans. It could be a couple of things. Now, number one, it could be he spills the beans on the board, and the board have got ahead of this by the news leaked today. That could definitely be the case. It could be where Ruben Amorim, in his embargoed press conference, has said something against the board, against the owners, and against them not going out and signing people in January, players in January. It could be that. Now, I'm steering towards that. I'm looking and thinking that's maybe what is most likely to be. And of course, this is the embargoed. So what the embargoed press conference essentially means is that the press already have the videos, they have the quotes, they have everything, but they're not allowed to put it out before the time 10:15 today. So the press are not allowed to put out what he said in that part of the press conference. But they all know what he said. They've all sat on it for that time. They've sat on it since they've recorded everything, since they've asked him the questions. But they're not allowed to bring out the news. They're not allowed to release it. But there must be someone who's leaking this information saying, oh my God, there's something crazy to come out. 10:15, Ruben Amorim, there's going to be shit's going to hit the fan, right? That's what we're hearing. And that could definitely be the case. Or it could even be to do with something like Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo, there's the question marks on whether he's actually injured. What's going on with Kobe Mainoo? It seems like no one's giving us that information. Could it be the bombshell that they're saying Kobe Mainoo is going to be sold or whatever? Or could it be somebody else? Nish says if it's gone against the board, though, he's gonna be sacked. If he goes against the board, of course he's gonna get the sack. I mean, the board, the ownership, they're always going to protect themselves. They're going to protect number one. They don't want to lose face in the public arena. And if it's between them and Ruben Amorim, of course, Ruben Amorim's going to get the sack. We saw it with the Chelsea manager just recently. It's not uncommon where when you get into a power struggle and the manager wants to do things his way or the way he feels are beneficial to the team, and then the board feel like, no, we want it done our way, and the owners say we want it doing our way, and of course the board represents the owners, right? Okay, so the board is not on Ruben Amorim's side. Sometimes you might get a board that favours the manager, but most of the times the board always looks after the interest of the owners, not the manager. But look, I want the board to look after the interest of the club. That's all. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. The board is appointed by the bloody owners. And we know we've got some awful, awful owners. The worst in history. I think no other club has got the owners like flipping the Glazers and now Ineos. It has to be that he's resigned. Has to be. I'd be absolutely gobsmacked if that's the case, because we would have already got that news. We would have got that news by now. It would have been all over the place. It would have been told. Baleba signed, absolutely not, Niche. Baleba looks like a far-fetched dream right now. I swear, the news and the reports and the sources that I'm hearing from are saying the Baleba deal looks further and further away, even though we've heard from the Brighton CEO who's saying, I think he came on Talk Sport and he said, well, look, he hinted that if United make the right offer, they'll sell Baleba. So he's actually coming out in public, encouraging United to sell, come in and buy Baleba. And what he did add that is that no one from United has come and contacted them over Baleba, but signing him in the January transfer window. That again is worrying for me, and I've realised now quickly that United have been just pulling the wool over everyone's eyes, making it out to be that they're going to go and sign players, but in reality, they're not actually going to make any moves. And like Ruben Amorim has said in his first part of press conference, I don't feel like they're going to be signing anybody. They're not going to be signing any. Look, I'm really. It's tense now. It's tense. The idea he's going to make some exceptionally spicy, amazing Amorim quotes at 10 there isn't. So someone, one of the journalists who's put it out there not long ago, about an hour ago, and he said that this idea that there's going to be something exceptionally spicy, amazing Amorim quotes at 10:30 p.m. there isn't. So he's saying there isn't. There's nothing. It's a rumour that started and it's just taken wildfire. There's nothing crazy in the press conference coming from Ruben Amorim. So don't get too excited. Then there's other people saying, oh my God, 10:30 or 10:15, Ruben Amorim, he's going to come out and say something insane. I just keep saying to you, if it was something crazy, we would have already had the leaks. No one would have sat on it that long. No way would any of the journalists, I don't care who they are, how professional they are, no journalist would sit on that kind of news that long. So, Anish, I know what you're saying. I know you think it could be crazy, but I don't think it's anything absolutely, drastic. I don't think it's anything like which is going to be shocking to the fans or anybody else. I think either he hints that the board United are not, backing him or not going to sign any further players. Or it could be to do with the current players out injured, maybe Bruno Fernandes, maybe Kobe Mainoo, maybe even Zertsky. But again, I don't think it's something absolutely crazy, or else we would definitely have had the leaks all over the place. It would have been out by now. We would have had the likes of Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein all leaking it. I mean, it would never have been kept under wraps. No way. If someone leaks the embargo, they will lose access to the club. Yeah, but look, I get that. But I also know that if it's big news, no one gives a shit. If it's gonna cause a ripple throughout the footballing world, and if it's something as big as Ruben Amorim resigning, or even hinting at the fact that he's going to resign, or he's had enough, or there's been a huge fallout with the board, it would have been leaked. However, obviously this morning, like I said, we did get the leaks of there being a civil war or chaos between the board and the manager, not seeing eye to eye. Jason Wilcox not seeing eye to eye with Ruben Amorim. We all know Jason Wilcox wants a 4-3-3 formation, or he likes that type of formation, and he's been on at Ruben Amorim. But again, we don't know. We don't know. These are reports that we hear. We're not quite sure. Because if they leaked it, club, it would let them. They wouldn't get access to. Yeah, they wouldn't. But that's number one. United and finding the leakers is almost impossible for United. United are terrible at finding leakers. Maybe Barada and Wilcox have gone. Nah. I can't see them going. I think it's going to be something about a player. I can't think of it being anything major, or else we would have got the news already. I would have had sources confirm it. I think people would have been talking about it already. You wouldn't have stopped somebody. I mean, there's lots of press in there. One of them, who probably doesn't give a shit about the access, would have said, right, okay, I'm not going to sit on it. This is my time. I'm going to make it big. I'm going to release the news, and I'm going to make it huge. I'm going to make it huge, and I'm going to benefit from it. But I don't think that's the case. Anyway, we'll come back to it in a short while. I might still be on air when the presser starts. So if I am, I'll go straight live to that, and we'll watch it. We'll watch it together. If not, I'll do another show if there's something crazy in the presser. I don't think there will be, but if there is, and I'm wrong, and Ruben Amorim turns around and says, "I'm off, guys. Thank you very much." That's it for me. It's end of the day. I would be absolutely gobsmacked. I'd come on stream straight away, but I can't see that happening. I really can't see it being major news like that. I do feel like it's something else. It's something maybe unrelated to Ruben Amorim. Might be, like I said, something to do with the players that's a bit spicy, or maybe he gets into a spat with one of the press journalists in there. Maybe he kicks off. I don't know. Please, Lord God, let Amorim resign for his own good and ours. I can't see that happening, man. I would have, like I said, I would have got the news if that had happened, or anything, even if he hinted at something like that. I think we would have all had the news by now. It would have been crazy. Anyway, I'm going to preview tomorrow's game against Leeds. It's a big one. Derby, Northern Derby, shall we say. Leeds against United used to be a big game in the past, but I think it's no longer considered a huge derby, is it? I mean, Liverpool United is still the biggest one. I think the Leeds United one, I don't think many people care about it as much as they used to. Obviously, it takes two to tango. So if Leeds aren't not the top team that they used to be, no one really cares. Now, saying that, Leeds have actually been playing well these couple of months, and they are a force to be reckoned with. They've had some good results. The most recent one against Liverpool at home, Anfield. What was it? 0-0. It was a good draw. It wasn't like, oh, there wasn't any chances for Leeds. Leeds actually scored, and it was offside for Calvert-Lewin. But it was touch and go. I mean, it was a whisker offside. So Leeds could have been walking away winning from that game. Now they're at home. United are gonna have an uphill struggle against Leeds. And let me go and check with you guys. Let me just go through their recent scoreline so we get to see what Leeds have been doing. So, like I said, they played Liverpool most recent game, and they drew that. But then, if you go further back, they've won against Chelsea 3-1. 3-1 at home against Chelsea. Right? Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. Then they drew 3-3 in the Premier League against Liverpool at home. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. Leeds at home are going to be a problem. They drew 1-1 against Brentford. That's an odd one. But then again, Crystal Palace, they thrashed 4-1 at home. Elland Road. I've got to keep on mentioning this to you because I've got a fear that United, given their performance against Wolves, I've got this fear that we might be going into this game and we might get absolutely thrashed. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope United can really turn up and surprise everybody. They did that against Newcastle. They've done that against other teams like Liverpool and so forth. But can they do it? Can they do it against Leeds United, a team that are really in form? So they drew against Sunderland 1-1, then it's a 4-1 win, then it's a Brentford draw away from home. So the away from home, they're not as good, but at Elland Road, they're very good. So, and then they drew against Liverpool 3-3, and then they beat Chelsea 3-1. I mean, come on, 3-1 against Chelsea. United, on the other hand, have been faltering. I mean, sorry, it's the other way around, isn't it? It's Sunderland, it was the last result 1-1, and then they drew against Liverpool. So it's the other way around they've been going. So United, on the other hand, obviously we've beat Wolves, then we went into a 4-4 draw against Bournemouth, then we won against Aston Villa away from home. And again, that's what filled me with a little bit confidence. I think maybe, just maybe, United can actually do a job on Leeds, given that they've done the same with Villa. But again, it was a different personnel, different players. We are missing our key players right now. Newcastle, 1-0 win at home. That was a very good performance. But the one that really worries me is our last time out against Wolves, where we drew 1-1. Leeds currently sit in 16th place. We're in 6th place. So if you're going off the table alone, you're probably thinking, oh, we're doing pretty well. We're 6th and they're 16th. But the gap between the points isn't huge. They've got 21 points. We've got 30 points. So we're not far away from each other. It's just strange that this season we've got the table that is so easily manipulated. It's so easy changes given 1 or 2 wins. That's what I've been screaming and shouting about, saying United need to win. We need to win our games, because I know if we win a couple of games, we could be right up there in contention for Champions League football, and we can really solidify our position at the top of the table whilst everyone else is faltering. But unfortunately, we're not doing anything better either. So everyone else screwing around, and we can see that happening, but we're doing the same thing. We're like saying, oh, you're throwing points away. All right, okay, we'll do the same thing. You're throwing points away, we'll do it as well. So no one's actually getting ahead apart from Arsenal. Arsenal are the only club that are really storming ahead. They won again today. Actually, it was a touch and go situation for a moment. I thought maybe Arsenal might lose today against Bournemouth. I thought maybe it's just one of those boogie teams that they might lose against, but Arsenal came back. Declan Rice marched them into the lead 3-2, and they're clear at the top now. They are clear. Villa, of course, keeping up the pressure on Arsenal, again winning today. But the rest of the teams, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United, all faltering, all not producing their best. You maybe not City as much, but the rest of the teams below them, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, and the rest, you could argue are not at their peak. Well, I don't know about United. United, I feel like, are just missing the chances. They should be scoring more goals. They should be letting in less goals, and we should be winning these bloody games. This was our easy period of games where we could have actually won all these games, but we've got a hard run of games right now. Difficult games coming ahead now. And United, well, if there's chaos at United, we're in deep shit. We're in deep shit. And from the sounds coming out of United, nothing looks like it's in order. And the final, final layer that we had from protecting United from chaos was, of course, Ruben Amorim and his stability at the club. But if that's been questioned by the board, we are up shit's creek, man. We are struggling. And I come back to Ineos. I come back to the Glazers. All the roads always lead back to the owners and what they are doing in terms of investment and their planning for United going forward. If they are not giving Ruben Amorim or any other manager what he needs in players, then we've got no hope. So, yeah, Ruben Amorim might get the sack. Yeah, they might use him as a scapegoat. They might take him out. But then what guarantee do we have that another manager can come in, maybe whoever it is, and in your choice, God forbid it's someone like flipping Gareth Southgate. But if he comes in, do they give him the backing? Do they go and say, right, okay, we'll go and get the players that you want? Or do they bring in new players, even though they are fully aware that the players currently at United are simply not up to task? They're simply not good enough. I don't care what anyone says. They didn't need Ruben Amorim to tell them they're better than Wolves and they should be able to beat them. No way. I mean, that every player in that dressing room should hold their heads down in shame for coming in 1-1 and being booed off Old Trafford. That is where we're at right now. And these players at United have done this time and time again. It's not the first time we've seen them do and put in these kind of performances when you expect them to go out there and win games, when you expect them to turn up and be 100% on point, aggressive, fast attacking football. And what you get served up with is completely the opposite. Completely the opposite. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. That's my preview show done. 12:30 tomorrow morning. Here we go. It's going to be a big one. It's a must win. It's gonna have massive repercussions if we get beat by a massive scoreline, or if we get beat convincingly. It could have huge repercussions for Ruben Amorim and the players, and of course Ineos, given that they've essentially put a ban on bringing any transfers in this summer. I mean, how can we talk about Baleba and others when we're hearing from the manager they're not signing anybody? But you never know. This is football. A couple of days can change everything. We could have some serious groundwork being done behind closed doors where they are looking at players to sign players, and within a couple of days we could have 3 or 4 new players. I doubt it very much, but wilder things have happened. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining. Anish, thank you once again. Of course, always ever present, always waiting for the news. I'm going to hopefully wait for the press conference of Ruben Amorim and see what drops. What is he going to say that's been causing so much stir in the last couple of hours? I'll obviously check out what he has to say and see if there's anything that causes upset amongst Man United fans or the board. Check you tomorrow morning. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the like so you can do the watch along with us tomorrow morning.